All right, Paul, I got you. Say no more. Um, so once again, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Shapiro, held a press conference today in regards to the young lady who recently put out these allegations against him, saying that allegedly Jay-Z and Diddy, first initially it was Diddy and then Jay-Z was added to the lawsuit, uh, allegedly raped her after VMA's after party. So the interesting thing in this is how Jay Z's trying to disassociate himself with Diddy. Like I don't know that I know that nigga like in passing. Yeah, I've seen that nigga at a few award shows and seen him at a few red carpet events, but I never hung with that nigga like that. I don't know that nigga. Joe, this dude Jay Z's a cold dude, bro. I mean, he's a cold piece of work. Um, but so if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. It would help me out greatly for all those who hate on the kid and want to see me with 1 million subscribers. You ain't got 1 million subscribers. Please help me by pushing the subscribe button. I would appreciate it so much. It costs you nothing. It's just a push of that button. You know what I mean? And hit the like if you rock with me like that. That helps the notifications go out. Appreciate that. So his lawyer is making it look like Diddy and Jay-Z were just like, I wouldn't even call it industry friends because the way he said is like you went like for us that been around the industry, we know Jay-Z and Diddy relationship is just more than one and just passing where you just give the nigga a head nod or you see nigga, you tap him up. Yo, what's up? How you doing? You good? You good? Boom. And you ain't gonna have no more conversation than that. Y'all niggas ain't gonna never hang out. Y'all never ain't gonna going to no dinners, no lunches, no brunches, none of that. Y'all don't rock like that. This is how he's saying it. Like they was just friends and at the award shows they would see each other, support each other. Hey, yeah, man, congratulations. Okay, fucking hey, Jay. You know, like these niggas ain't man. Jay's a cold piece of work, but I'm not surprised. We all know how Jay do. 1 minute he'll love you, then he'll leave you alone. But let's get into the press conference. It's TikTok. I'm live on YouTube. The link is in my bio. Um, if you want to join us, you could come over there. If you just want to listen in, you could just listen in right here. All right. Let's go.
When you're trying to evaluate whether something occurred, you have to look at different pieces of the narrative: the location where it happened, the witnesses, who were they, what did they say, the details. Details are very important in time. So we start off with the location, and according to their complaint, after approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at a White House with a U-shaped driveway and a gate. There is no such location in New York, 20 minutes from Radio City. It does not exist. There is no such location. We don't know whether they created a location in order to try to get jurisdiction in New York so they could bring this case in New York, or whether they just didn't do their homework. But any New Yorker knows there is no such location. Beyond that, this was supposed to have taken place at Mr. Combs' after party, according to them. When you look at the homes associated with Mr. Combs during that period of time, and even not during that period of time, none of them matches. He had a townhouse, he had a house in the Hamptons hours away, and he had homes in New Jersey, but not at that time. None of the homes work, the location doesn't work because this never happened. And again, when you really bear down on the location and his whereabouts, you quickly realize, because of there's photographic evidence and witnesses are coming forward, that Mr. Carter was at a commercial establishment after the VMAs. He wasn't at a house. Well, unfortunately for them, they needed to create this house in order to create the narrative. But he wasn't at a White House that did not exist. And this is a photograph of him at a location after the VMAs.
I've always struggled with losing weight and keeping it off, but I felt comfortable with hers. In a month, I've lost over 7 pounds with GLP-1 injections.
So as we can continue through this, that Jane Doe does not say that the assault happened at a commercial establishment. She can't. That wouldn't make any sense. Yet they stand by it. They double down. They triple down. White House, White House. The White House doesn't exist. And then we get to the witnesses. And I think at the outset, everybody has to remember that in 24 years, not a single witness has ever come forward saying this happened. Quarter of a century. Think about that. She says she's at the party alone, this 13-year-old girl, and she finds herself in the room with the 3 most famous people at the party. Just think about how unnatural, how little common sense that makes. And according to her, one of the witnesses is a female celebrity who's just standing there watching the repetitive rape of a child. That celebrity does nothing, says nothing, reports nothing. And in fact, they won't even identify her. According to them, there's an adult female in the room watching the rape of a child. They refuse to identify her. So then we continue. And you look and there's celebrities that she says she's mingling with before. Afterwards, she says she runs out of the house naked. Runs out of the house naked. None of them notice that. None of them pay any notice. For 24 years, none of them has said anything. And so she's just asked in this interview, she's asked, well, I mean, celebrities are recognizable people. Surely you can tell us one celebrity that was there. Just give us one name so that we know this happened. And she says, okay, Benji Madden was there. And she wants to conjure up religion and say, I'm religious. I remember his tattoo. She looks and remembers so vividly the tattoo and the conversation with Mr. Madden. Well, Mr. Madden wasn't there. He already said he wasn't there. His tour schedule said he wasn't there.
Let me just interrupt for a second. Now, if you're not new to this channel and you've been watching me here on TikTok as well, I told y'all this was the pump fake, right? In this whole presentation, Jay-Z's statement that he put out, his lawyer's statement he put out, and this right here, this whole presentation, this whole shit, right, is Jay-Z jumping out the sky. Like, this is Jordan pump faking you, like, ah, and then turning around and laying it up with the other hand, right? This is me using my analogy as they took a chess, they played chess with Jay, and they took the king and moved it up front first, right? And there's Jay excited and moving one of his best pieces up there just to thinking he gonna take the king, and they just gonna take the queen and just take that rook or whatever it is that can jump up there to the king, right? He's jumping out the window. Why I'm saying this, right? Pay close attention. What do you think is going to happen next? They going to hit him with the real shit, right? They going to hit him with this is, like I told you, this is the pump fake. This is the dummy bag. This is the fake, the dummy, right? Like this move right here is the dummy move, right? And look what Jay's doing. He doing the whole press conference. This is a civil lawsuit, nigga. Why are you panicking? This is a civil lawsuit, nigga. You get these shits all day, every day, right? You ain't doing this for the Ramirez shit. You won't even give him a day in court. Right? You doing all this, I'm telling y'all, this is the fake ass chess move. He playing with a chess master, and he acting like he never played chess before. Like he don't know what pieces is what. He just, oh, I'm gonna use the big one. And Jay like, oh, this nigga's stupid. I'm about to take this nigga with a no. It's a setup, my nigga. You know why? Once again, Jay jumped out there and put out this statement. His lawyer put out a statement. Now they holding a whole press conference to a bullshit ass civil lawsuit, my nigga. This is a civil lawsuit. It's not a criminal indictment. It is a civil lawsuit. And this nigga is jumping out the window. Now what's going to happen next is this. They going to hit him with some real shit. Like some Foxy Brown or some real shit. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to try to go back to being the normal Jay-Z he is and try not to say nothing. And you know why that's not going to work? Because of all this shit right here. And I'm using this under fair use. You know, let me make that clear. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, common news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit educational pursuits. The balance in favor of fair use. All right, I have to, do my legal thing before we get back into this. All right.
And he wasn't there because this never happened. None of this ever happened. And you keep going and you ask yourself, well, who is this complaining witness? She does not come forward with her real name. She proceeds under Jane Doe. There's no report to the police. According to her, she never tells anybody for 24 years. Not one person, not alone in the car for 5 hours at home, on her way home. Not one person, not a diary, not a family member, not a friend. Most people, when this happens, there's a need to tell somebody. We call these prompt outcry witnesses. In most complaints like this, people tell somebody. She says nobody for 24, 25 years. And then we get to the details. And I want to make sure this is clear. When people make up an account, whether intentionally or their mind is playing tricks on them, they can always get that core part of the story right. They can just keep repeating it over and over and over again. This is what happened, that core part. But they're always going to mess up the details. When something isn't real, when something doesn't happen, you're going to get the details wrong because you weren't really there. And so she starts with her story about her friend that dropped her off. Okay? This drive of over 5 hours, the friend would have had to have gone 10 plus hours to drop her off because she's got to get there. If this is real, she's got to get there. But guess what? This friend of hers, she doesn't get out of the car. Right? Think about that. She's just leaving a 13-year-old girl alone in Midtown. She doesn't want to get out of the car. She came all that way. There can't be a witness there. She can't